Oh my gosh. Hola! I'm back. This is my, think, fourth video. And I know I've been a little late with the video. I've been doing my blogs, like posts of where I've been going, but haven't been doing my video posts. So I'm here to like catch up. It's hard to find time because I'm always doing something here. But I wanted to talk a little about some like mishaps that have happened that I've been wanting to talk to you guys about. That are some embarrassing, some are not life changing, but like my mind is forever different now. So I want to throw it back to Granada. Now it doesn't seem that long ago that I was there, but it now is actually like 2 months. One of the best trips of my entire life, with some of my favorite people ever. So we had the day and we were gonna walk around all over Granada. There's the Alhambra, and like everything you walk is like uphill, and you're walking around the entire city. So on our way walking to the Alhambra, I was with all of my friends and we were in a huge group about to cross the street. So I'm standing there, we're all waiting, and all of a sudden I feel like a tug on my bag. Like it was first subtle and then a little tug. So at that point, right at the end, is where the tug was. And when I turned around, my bag was already all the way open, which scares me so much because it's like, I didn't feel the beginning part being opened. It's like a little side bag, about this big. I didn't feel the beginning being open, but I guess it was just the last part that I felt, or maybe she opened it quick. I don't know. Turn around and there's a lady behind me, looks about 50 years old. I'm not sure if she was looking for money, she works with someone, or she's gypsy. I don't know any of it, but I turn around and see her and I'm like, what are you doing? Like I start like, what are you doing? But it all happened so fast and I was so confused that I think that's what I said. But I was like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? That's my bag. And then she looked at me like, no. Like, obviously she was trying to take my stuff. I was shook, literally in shock. Like, I couldn't believe that somebody would do that. Like, I mean, I understand, I've always known about pickpocketing. They tell us that before you come over, like, it's like the biggest thing. Watch out for pickpocketers. But I don't know, I guess in my head, like, I was like, okay, yeah, that happens, but it won't happen to me, because like, you just don't think it's gonna happen to you. You think you're like protective with your stuff or whatever. But that's not the case. It's not, if you hold your stuff close, it's not like, it's not, even if you have it in front, like people scheme you, they scam you. But anyways, the entire rest of the day, I had like this really weird feeling like in my stomach, and overall, like I felt super uncomfortable and felt like everybody was out to get me. Like I was like looking everywhere, like anyone that touched me even a little, I was like, back up, like. But I think in the long run, that actually like really helped me, because now everywhere I go, I'm super conscious of my surroundings. When I went to Barcelona, I guess that's another like top destination of people pickpocketing. And when I went there, I was on go, literally on go, ready for somebody to try to take my stuff because I was on it. And so I really like how it's changed my mindset. And now that I know like what to expect and that stuff actually happens, and I know like I should have listened to the people, that stuff obviously happens, but like I'm gonna be like on one hundo, shout out to Martin, on one hundo, looking at people, like making sure that my surroundings are, I understand what's going on. So that's one event. And I really liked how that changed my mindset on things. So yeah, another thing I wanted to talk about. So I didn't fully explain this story, but for those of you who follow my Instagram, you may have seen my one story I posted of like my foot being wrapped. But I just want to tell the little story of when I went to Asturias. So I planned to go to Asturias, which is northern Spain, by myself. I actually wanted to go with friends, but they couldn't go last minute because the flights got too expensive, which is understandable. But yeah, so I was like, whatever, I'm gonna have a good time by myself. I'll just go and, wing it. So the first day I was spending it at the beach. The second day I was renting a car and going to the mountains where my cottage was, at like the central of the national park in Asturias. So beautiful mountains. And I was gonna hike and stuff. So first day I'm there, a little bored. Like, I mean, it's hard to, like, you know, people think like, oh, because you're in Spain, like you, like, you know, company's always great. Company's always great. So I was a little like, it was amazing seeing everything and like, you know, like walking around, like it was so amazing, but it's always better with company, you know? So anyways, I've learned I don't like to travel alone anymore, just with at least one other person. So anyways, I went to go get some food. I came back, was a little like bored, not doing anything. So I was like, let me look around the hostel. Go downstairs, see they have a bunch of skateboards and longboards like all lined up. And so I'm like, oh, like I've longboarded before, like I bet I can skateboard, I bet it's the same. Not the same, definitely different, really hard. So I get the skateboard, take it out, and not even 2 minutes later, somehow I'm on the damn ground. On the ground, like I have no clue. It happened really fast, but I was skating and then next thing I flipped over my leg and everything. It felt broken. I was freaking out. I was like, what is going on? My knee, my leg, my ankle, I had no clue the issue. Even little kids were like looking at me like, "Estás bien? Like, are you good?" Like, and I really wanted to just play it off because I was like, whatever, it's not a big deal. And it turns out I needed to ice it. It feels like it kept getting worse, and the people at the hospital kept telling me to go to the hospital, but I really didn't want to because I really wanted to go to the mountain, and I just didn't want that to be, I didn't want to do all that. But this is going to tie into healthcare too, how it works, because the next morning I actually woke up with it way worse. I knew that something was wrong, and I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay, so I had at least like peace of mind, and wasn't thinking like, oh my god, is it broken, is it sprained? So I went to the hospital in Asturias in the morning, took a taxi there, and got x-rays and everything. Turns out my ankle was sprained, so that sucked, but at least it wasn't broken. That's all I can ask for, you know, not ask for, you know what I mean? But so they wrapped up my ankle and told me to keep it on for a week. Sadly, I didn't keep it as long as I should have, so my ankle's kind of messed up, but I'll fix it. But yeah, so when I was there, they obviously asked me for my insurance because I wasn't from here. But either way, the healthcare in Spain, I'm not sure if I've talked about this already, is completely free. So people can go to the hospital and they don't have like any payments to do at all. All of the money that they would have paid goes into their taxes. So maybe it's higher taxes, obviously, but you go into hospitals and healthcare with absolutely free of cost surgeries and everything. And that's a problem, I think, in Spain right now, is what I've heard, like long wait lines for surgeries, and they're kind of like all over the place with like scheduling days, and it's not as like more like strict, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, it's obvious if you're going to be having like free consultations and surgeries that would be common. So that's another big difference between Spain and US. But yeah, that was my mishap in Asturias. I didn't get to tell the story. I've been embarrassed, but whatever, things happen, and I wasn't able to go to the mountains, but whatever, like it's a memory, and I met some really great people and like nice people there, and you never know, everything happens for a reason. Like, what if I went to the mountains and I don't know, I got kidnapped? Like, everything happens for a reason, so I'm just thankful to be alive. So yeah, that was that trip. I also wanted to talk a little about not a little about, but like I wanted to say this earlier. This is actually like a small fact that I've been wanting to like tell people back home. I think it's so cool how, like I told you guys earlier, that people have like tattoos and like piercings and stuff, and it's really common. But I think it's so cool that almost like, okay, I don't want to say almost all the guys that I see have this, but a lot of people have this tragus piercing. Like, it's super popular here. This right here. I did have one, but mine ripped out of my ear, and now I have half a tragus. But yeah, a lot of people have that, and I think it's really cool because it's like the style, and like I think it looks really good, but it's just crazy how different it is, because it, like, that's definitely not common, but like even like here is like, oh, like they have earrings. So I think that's like really cool. But yeah, so, and this is the last thing I'm going to say. This is a little shorter video. It's kind of just like an update. My next video, I'm going to do like how to travel, hostels info, where to get the cheapest flights, what to do if you want multi-city flights, a whole bunch of information, and what to bring abroad. So stay tuned for that. And I'm also going to do a video of a tour of Murcia. I know I did my university, but I'm going to do a tour of the city as well. So stay tuned for that as well. This is just a small little checkup video. But yeah, I also want to say, I was looking back at my like first video, and it's just so crazy, like looking back how much, like, this is so cheesy, how much I've grown. But literally, like, my Spanish is not the best. I'm sure people can attest to that, but I really think that, like, I understand more, and I'm doing better, and I'm like learning so much more. I've learned so much about so many cultures, and this is literally just the best experience I've ever had. I can't imagine my life without it. Like, not trying to be dramatic or cheesy, but it's just, my mind is different. Like, I'm a different, and like, I love learning another language, and it's just been such a great experience. And I'm glad that everyone's been interested in like learning, like whoever watches my blog, like wanting to know like my updates or whatever. It's been really awesome. So thank you guys, and stay tuned for the next episode. It will be coming sooner than you think. So stay tuned. Adios.